This is Magister Paradise of The Accusation Party and a whole lot of other stuff. You are listening to The Devil You Know. And also, Vagina.
Life is the great indulgence, death the great abstinence. Therefore, make the most of life here and now. There is no heaven of glory bright, and no hell where sinners roast. Here and now is our day of torment. Here and now is our day of joy. Here and now is our opportunity. Choose ye this day, this hour, for no Redeemer liveth. Say unto thine own heart, I am mine own Redeemer. Stop the way of them that would persecute you. Let those who devise thine undoing be hurled back to confusion and infamy. Let them be as chaff before the cyclone, and after they have fallen, rejoice in thine own salvation. Then all thy bones shall say pridefully, Who is like unto me? Have I not been too strong for my adversaries? Have I not delivered myself by mine own brain and body?
What's up, haters?
How's it going there, motherfuckers?
We got something really fucking crazy about to happen here in a little bit on the show, but
one word describes it. Tasty.
Yeah. How was your Thanksgiving, man?
Very filling. I can't see my cock anymore. But you can for just $12.95. No, seriously, I can't fucking see it. I have to look through the mirror at its reflection to know that I still have one.
That's kind of sad.
I'm gonna start working out or some shit.
Yeah, sure. You'll just get right on that.
Yeah, one day you're just gonna be surprised. You'll be like, "Where's your gut? You look amazing." Yeah, okay. 10 years from now, but yeah, man. So let's tell the kids about the new, and by kids I mean all you people listening, and by people I mean whatever.
Yeah,
just
both of you. Now we should make this pretty clear. What's about to happen? We want people to understand that this does not in any way. I guess how do I say this?
It doesn't reflect the Church of Satan's opinions or the official stance on anything. It's
even though it says that at the beginning, very fast at the beginning of our episode.
Yeah, we want to make it
be clear. This particular episode, you should be clear that is not what this is about.
This is two gentlemen who happen to both be members of an organization that are talking about something unrelated to the organization. It's a private conversation made public with their permission, their full permission, and it's I think, you know what, let's let them hear it first, and then we could what do you think, we'll reflect on it later?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
All right. So for episode 56, we're going to do something a little different.
That's right, we're going to
John,
go like this.
You want to tell us what we're doing this time?
Sorry, I was just clearing my throat. No, we're going to come out with this new segment here called Crossfire, where we pit two people who publicly are just at each other's throats, and they know they dislike each other for whatever reason or reasons, and just give them a chance to sit down and hash out some of their stuff on air. I think it's going to be amazing.
Alrighty, well, who we got this time then?
We've got the Roberts in the house, and by the Roberts I mean Robert Leuthold and Robert Moseley. How you doing, gentlemen?
Hey. I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
I'm moderately keno, actually.
Keno?
Yes, it's
like
just
Akino?
It's just shy of awesome.
Okay.
Or is that awesome?
That's
Right,
that's
right.
right. That's right.
I see a new T-shirt coming to the website. Shawsome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually.
I'm gonna run and trademark that.
He actually uses it.
Yeah.
He uses it all the time, actually.
Only if the price is right to keep up with John's Jewish side.
I'm only Jewish from the waist down.
Ew. All right.
Okay.
So,
So, gentlemen, we've been on Facebook. Most people know about that, but we've just noticed a couple of things as of late. I think we were talking about. In fact, I don't remember what the topic was about.
Well, if I may begin.
Sure. Yeah.
Of course, just
Well, this all goes back to an incident. I guess it was last year, involving a coin that you put out that was given to attendees of the thing back in D.C.
right.
I happened to lose mine, and you gave me one free of charge, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But
awesome.
see, what it was I really have no personal problems with Mr. Moseley. I mean, the whole thing is the Church of Satan has always been a mutual admiration society. We don't have to like each other, but we do have to respect each other. And if it's gotten to the point where we just can't agree, instead of throwing shit at each other like the higher evolved apes that we are, we're supposed to block each other and move on. And that's it. And that's pretty much what I fucking did. And then, like, yesterday, who was it? Brought up... Well, why don't you explain what you did, Mr. Rosley?
Oh, okay. Well, I'll start off by saying, as far as I know, unless I've been out of the loop, Robert and I's differences, I think, were resolved, or at least I don't have any issues. But then again, like you said, I think we are not Facebook friends, so I haven't been privy to anything you've said. But you haven't been ragging on me lately that I know of. So yesterday, there was a big, giant, juicy thread on our private COS forum because I was goofing around and I posted an eBay auction for a couple of Mr. Shaw's collectibles. We had a coin from the 50th anniversary conclave, and then another medallion ingot that was from the following 50th anniversary event, and then also there was a wristband that each attendee was given. And these, now, with the exception of the wristband, these other things were things I believe you sell and have sold on your website to the public.
Right.
John?
Yep.
You sold the first coin also, right?
Not the one that was given to people at the private event, but
Yeah. At the DC coin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he only offered those leftovers to members.
Well, the DC coins went after the event happened. I don't know, a month or so later.
Right, he had leftovers.
Yeah, he had a bunch of leftovers, and
And
he said, "Hey,
like-
anybody want these?" And I ponied up. I said, "Yeah, I'll buy whatever you want to sell me." And I forget how many it was, 10 or 20 of them you sold me. So the issue that you and I had was I had given a few of those coins away as gifts to some satanic celebrity friends of mine. And you took umbrage with that because you felt that only people who had attended the event should be allowed to own one. And that's where we had the argument.
And I still feel that way.
And I understand that perspective. I do. But, there were people who couldn't make it. And but also I felt that had contributed to the Satanic Society over the years. And I thought that they deserved one. I gave one to Scott Ian. I gave one to the singer of the band Venom.
Satanic,
Well, in my opinion, growing up, I saw his album covers, his T-shirts, his band, giant pentagrams and Baphomets, and I just always saw him portraying satanic symbolism and singing about different things in his songs, and I've always seen him as a positive role model, in my opinion. when you know, because you see people like, for instance, Marilyn Manson. Well, you know, Scott Ian and Anthrax does not receive the level of shit that somebody like a Marilyn Manson gets, you know. So I always thought they were sort of a positive role model, just as I see Dave Navarro and other people like that. And there are certain musical entertainers out there that have made, say, satanic symbolism a part of who they are. And some of these people I know. And I thought, hey, you know what? This guy would appreciate the coin. And I shared that with the group, and I received some flack for it. So yesterday, just as a joke, you know, as I was talking to some other friends of mine, I said, you know what would be funny? I bet if I put this up for sale, it would cause such a shitstorm. And let's take bets on who comments on it first. So I made an auction of the 3 items. I put it up on eBay for an unbelievably high price. I knew no one would pay, you know, $666. And I said, let's just sit back and see what happens. And I sent you, John, a message and said, hey, this is what I'm doing. Do you have a problem with this? And you said, no, they belong to you, and you can do whatever you want with them. They're your possessions. I said, well, you know, I don't want to do it if it's going to cause you some heartburn. And you're like, I don't give a shit. This will be funny. And sure enough.
Actually, all I said was gifts are yours to do with what you want.
And by the way, these weren't, well, I guess 2 of them were gifts. The other stack of them I paid you cash for. I mean, I bought them fair and square. Yep. So I'm probably the only person out of everyone who received one who paid you cash for them. So anyway, the point is it was a social experiment, because I was talking with this friend of mine who's not involved in this conversation. I said, you know, we have the instance of the good guy badge. We're going to have the guy who is, whether it is he is a brown noser, or that he doesn't like me, or that he just wants attention, or whatever it is. And I don't have these feelings at all, by the way. I just want to point that out. But I said, somebody is going to come out and say, look, hey, everybody, look at me. I'm the most loyal. I would never do something like this. This guy is lesser than me because he's willing to sell these and blah, blah, blah. And shitstorm ensued. And it turned out exactly as I predicted it. Maybe
wow,
not.
I definitely don't see it like that at all.
I would like to interject here, Robert. Could you let him do so, please?
Yes.
What? Who?
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm listening.
Go ahead, Dorian.
No, Robert Leuthold.
I thought you were saying you wanted to say. Yeah, no, I can't see how that is. Your perspective on that is really fucked up. I mean, you kind of went out of your way to try and bait people. First of all, I mean, a lot of us, when we see that stuff, it's the first thing we're looking for is the detractors, the deserters who are going to jump ship, as our own Peggy pointed out, that's what it looked like. We always do that because these are the people you have to watch out for, because they're still on your friends list, but they're going to turn around and talk shit about you, and more importantly, they're going to talk about shit about our organization. So when any of us sees a bunch of stuff like this, especially, this isn't just like, you know, a satanic a hardcover from, you know, 30 years ago. This is something that just happened to us. So naturally, without seeing the name of it, and without this looked like a deserter. And you basically pretty much just said, you know, this is a social experiment. So you purposely baited COS members knowing what was going to happen. That, to me, labels you as the shit disturber.
I agree, and I see that perspective.
If I can piggyback off of what Dorian said, and then I swear I'll give you the floor. I've got to call you out on your bullshit about not talking shit about people, especially when it comes to me, because the Thursday night in New York at the brewery thing that I wasn't able to attend, you talk shit about me to, you talk shit about me to, and you talk shit about me to. So stop lying.
Okay. What was it that was told to you
Stop
that
lying,
I said?
man.
I'm not lying.
I know you talk shit about me.
Define
I don't
shit.
care, because, you know, you're doing your thing and I'm doing mine, but I would never go behind your fucking back. I would tell it to your face.
Oh, I agree, and that's what you and I did the
why'd
last time
you
we were
do
on the show.
Then
Well,
why'd you do it?
first of all, I don't even know what it is. Tell me what it is that you're accusing me of, first of all, and I'll respond to it. What does shit mean?
Stop backpedaling and listen.
I don't remember every conversation I've ever had with every person.
Stop backpedaling and listen.
Okay.
What you did yesterday is another example of why a lot of people have problems with you. It's your attitude, your arrogance, your pretentiousness. You love bringing up how many celebrities you know.
I forgot about that.
Hold on. I'm not done. I won't let you know when I'm done. Or let me put it a different way. I'll let you know when you have my permission to speak.
Oh my God.
You bring up how much money you have. You bring up how many celebrities you know. You make it seem like we are the ones who are less because we don't know celebrities. We don't have money. We don't have a nice house. We don't have a TV show, which, by the way, you need to quit surfing on that because it's out of syndication. No one cares about it.
That's not true.
Well, in my opinion, anyway. Let me just kind of crib that on there. The point is, if you wouldn't be such a pretentious fuckhead, I wouldn't care what you did. I really wouldn't. But when you did the thing with the coins, and you gave the coin to someone who's not only not a member, but probably threw the thing in the trash right after you left his eyesight, what were you thinking, man? Seriously. And
well, sorry.
Okay, I'm almost done, Dorian, and then you can have the floor, I swear. But the thing is, the whole thing of like, oh, I'm going to put this auction up as a social experiment to see who bites and who gets pissed off. I mean, I've been around before I was even a member, and I've seen shit that you weren't around for. I've seen, like, fights, like, people who were well-known and well-respected go south and, like, put all their stuff up on eBay and talk shit about the organization. So, yeah, those of us who have been around for a while do get very skeezy when stuff like that pops up. So, no, it wasn't a funny joke, and it wasn't because anyone was trying to prove loyalty. We were like, oh shit, who's turning on us now? That's why we did that. And I mean, another thing is a lot of people have seen that you're gunning for rank, whether you want
That's not true.
Admit it or not. People have seen it. We're not stupid, Bob. Quit treating us like we are.
Who's we and us?
The Satanists that have been around a lot longer than you have. Go ahead, Dorian.
Basically, what I'm thinking is just like, if it had been like somebody like we have well-respected people who have like, several issues or several copies of the hardcover of the Satanic Bible, and they keep them because they know they're going to go up in value. And if somebody, then they're going to sell them. They're going to make money. And I think if you had owned it from the beginning, I think if you had said, yeah, that was me, I sold them, or I put it on my eBay because there's going to be some people out there that are they're shallow enough to just want to buy it just because it's got a devil on it, and I'm going to take advantage of them. I think I would have respected you more for that than sort of, hey, I'm going to try and entrap.
Oh, so if it was just about the money that listen, if somebody was willing to pay me I would have gladly sold them. And actually, it happened because I was legitimately listing some of my books. I mean, I have original first edition hardcover of Satanic Bible and Rituals, and I did put those on eBay because I have a few of those, and I have some other early 1800s books about the devil and things like that are pretty valuable. So I did want to raise some cash for the holidays, and I was putting things on eBay, and I was looking at those, and I thought, hey, I bet some fool out there who loves this stuff would pay some kind of crazy money. I wonder what they would pay. And as I was putting together the thing, I said, I guarantee you, if I put this up, I'm going to catch hell about it. So it was, I was legitimately thinking to myself, I'd like to make some money off of these. What would somebody pay? But at the same time, I knew that if I put them up, I was going to catch hell for it. And so I thought, let's just see what happens. And immediately I owned up to it. Now, first of all, I admit I didn't consider the concept of it being a deserter getting rid of their stuff. Nowhere in the auction is COS put down in any way. No names are given, no places, no address, no dates or anything. It was very vague. It just said that these were given to people who attended the event, So I didn't feel that there was anything in the ad itself that broke any kind of protocols as far as privacy or anything of that nature. So, and responding to Robert, I have respect for him, for his hierarchy in the organization, but I don't need your permission to talk. I bow before no one. And, but I will give you the respect to speak. Now, I don't know what kind of stuff was perceived, what I said. I might have been joking around about you basically not liking me, and said, hey, where's Robert? He'd probably be happy to see me. And I remember coming up to you and I said, hey, I want to buy you a drink. And you were pretty drunk. And you said, I can't take any more drinks right now.
I passed on it because I was drunk. I knew I didn't need to drink.
But I was legitimately trying to put out an olive branch. And I feel like the last time we had this conversation, that was back then. And then we talked, and I thought I resolved it.
And when you were trying to talk to me, I knew I was really in no state to talk to anyone. Mm-hmm. So that's why I kind of brushed you off. And I thought it was more for the beer. So, I just, I'm like, I don't need to drink anymore. And I'm really not in the best state to be talking to him with the beef we've had before. So it wasn't me snubbing you. It's just like, I'm in no state to really talk to anyone right now.
And let me clear something up right now. Beef you have had. I haven't had a beef with you. I could care less what anybody thinks, much less you. I just wanted to be friendly with you because it makes life easy because we're all in the same group. Now, I got no axe to grind with you, and I don't spend any part of my day thinking about whether or not you're liking me or not liking me. Now, I have, jokingly, very soft ribbing, brought you up, only that I think it's funny that you're irritated by me. But as far as me, quote, talking shit about you, what's to talk about? I'm not, I don't know anything about you. I don't hang out with you. There's nothing to pick on you for. And I'm certainly not going to go as low as picking on, any of your conditions or anything. So what is there to say? I don't care. As far as the auction goes and these things, it's my stuff. I can sell it. I understand the people would be pissed that they feel like I'm just baiting them. But I think that I kind of proved a point. There were some people who came in there with the attitude of off with his head, and then they found out it was me, and they go, I was just, never mind that I like you. I was just, never mind, and they backpedaled out of it. I received so many gosh darn private messages from people saying, I agree with you. This is great, and I, not to mention people begging me for the coin, saying, hey, I didn't get one. Can I have one? I said, no, if you want one, you should ask John. But every time, for every one person who publicly wants to complain about me, there's two people who privately tell me that they maybe agree with me or whatever. So I'm sorry that you have a jealousy of people I know or things I do or money I make or a house I live in or my TV show, which, by the way, is, on a run internationally. So it's not on in the U.S. right now, but I'm famous as shit in Brazil right now. I was at
didn't go there.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Brazil and Poland, New Zealand, I'm doing great. But what the fuck ever.
Go there,
So,
by all means.
yeah. So, but I get it. You hate the world, you hate life. I don't blame you, and you can take it out on me and everybody else. It doesn't bother me.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think that's. I don't think that's anybody.
Hold up, little Chinese Marley man. You did not just say that shit to me.
What, Chinese? I'm Scottish.
Just say that.
Did he call me Chinese? The fuck?
He's called you. You're a Chinese Mongol.
A Chinese Mongol man. I have a Fu Manchu, but I'm Scottish. I'm sorry to tell you.
It's more like a who-flung poo. But listen, I wanted to say something really quick, man, because I let you guys say stuff. But what Dorian was saying with the books, those types of items are understandably sold. We all get that, and that doesn't convey any message other than, hey, I got something that's hard to find and rare and not a print and all that, and it's worth money. But wait a minute, wait, 1 second. Just let me prove this little point real quick. We're talking about when it came to the auction with the pieces that were given as gifts privately at this private event. Selling those types of things just give off the vibe that there's some sort of disloyalty there or disrespect. That's all.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But John, let me bring up something.
Also, hang on, because I think this is relevant. Robert, if you think we have it bad, John and I used to be at each other's throats.
John's been at a lot of people's throats.
Legitimately be at each other's throats. We did not talk to each other for, what was it, John? About a half a year?
Yeah,
about
at least.
A year?
Yeah, at least.
Something like that?
Yeah.
And what it took was the DC event came up. I knew John was going to be there. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to carry this on. I pulled John to the side. I was like, it's not about petty squabbles. It's not about our egos. We're here for the church. And let's just put that shit behind us. And we did. But the thing is, when it comes to you, and I'm going to try to remain calm for the rest of this, first off, I don't hate life. Second off, I kind of explained earlier, but I'll reiterate again, it's your attitude. It's the fact that you don't support anyone else in the secret group. All you do is you post stuff for yourself. And that's it.
What do you mean I don't support? I financially and emotionally support every single event or product or book or jewelry or whatever.
Dude,
I'm there.
You're doing it again.
I want to go back.
You're doing it again, man.
It's
not about money. Stop making it about money. It's not about fucking money.
But it's not about money.
Name a member you've respected. Name someone's project that you've supported without money.
What are you talking about?
Just sharing a link. Just giving someone
first of all, Robert,
a pat on the back.
I don't publicly share on my personal profile.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Certain satanic stuff because of my.
That's not what I'm talking about. You're not getting it. I
don't get it.
I may not always give John stuff alike, but he knows I support him.
Listen,
I may not always.
I'm not going to sit here and
would you let me finish? You're not on.
Let me pack a lunch.
You're not on TV right now. I don't have to kiss your ass.
But you're sitting there telling me I don't support people when Corvus had his laptop stolen. I sent the dude some cash and said anything you need.
You're not seeing my point. You make it all about money.
Well, sometimes money is what buys books. Money is what puts on events. Money is what sells rings. And the thing is that I'm here supporting this podcast. I support other people's podcasts. I support other people's art. When people put things up for sale, I buy them. And I buy people's books and never open them and
You
put it
don't
in a shelf.
get it, man.
You know, but
You don't
what other
get it.
support are you talking about? I go to their events.
It's not about being seen. It's not about giving money. You're not a producer. You're a
What the
fucking
fuck are you
consumer.
talking about?
You're
talking about
consumer,
supporting
man.
shit.
That's
So
all you fucking
All right,
are.
listen. I'm not gonna. Well, whatever. I want to answer something that we were talking about a minute, John. I think that's very important.
Yeah.
The ingot that I was given in the gift box is mine. It stays in a special place. I will never get rid of that. The coin that I received in D.C. is separate from the others. I'll never get rid of that. My wristband from New York is in a separate place other than the extras I got. That's mine. The book that I have signed from Peter Gilmore to me will never be sold in a million years. I sell things that are extra things that are for the purpose of collecting and selling in the future. Like just as an example, because I sell things for a living, I'll buy collectibles like Hot Wheels puts out a car. I'll buy 10 of them. I'll put them in a box. I put them in the attic. I wait 10 years. I sell them. That's business. Okay, so when I meet with you and I go and you say, hey, I got a bunch of these left over. You want to buy some? Sure, give me 20 of them. I'll take them. I'll put them in a drawer, and then one day I'll sell them because that's what it is. That's what it does. That's life. And there's nothing wrong with our Miss Blanche Barton saying, hey, guess what? I found a bunch of stuff in a drawer that's 20 years old. Anybody want to buy it? Or Coop comes up and says, I got a bunch of posters that I found, and anybody want to buy them? Nobody gets on their ass for doing that stuff. I did the exact same thing. So
I said, I would have respected that more. I think if you hadn't added the whole, I'm going to experiment and see who's going to get pissed off by me. If you'd have said, hey, I did that, and I have extras. Those aren't the ones that I have setting aside that are especially given to me. These are all the extras that nobody wanted that I bought up.
Well, in retrospect, I agree.
And really, if you'd done it like that, no one would have cared. If you would have just come straight out, I wouldn't have seen it because you have me blocked for whatever reason.
No, I do not have you blocked. You have me blocked.
No, I never blocked you.
Well, I didn't block you either, so...
yeah, you did.
Well, I don't want to argue about it, but...
I bet you my block list is longer than both yours put together.
You got a block list that looks like a New York phone book.
I block everybody. Fuck them.
You got enough blocks to build a wall in Mexico.
Yeah, and they're going to pay for it.
The point of it is, if you had just outright said, instead of someone else finding it and people putting two and two together.
Now hold on just a second.
No,
you just got through
hang
busting
on.
my balls for
like I
advertising
said,
shit. So the last thing I was going to do is go on the COS website and and I don't go on there and put my wares out there because when I do, people bust my balls about it. So the last thing I was going to do was go on there and say, look what I'm selling. These people found it on their own on eBay. I didn't advertise it one bit because it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Now,
we're always going to be looking for rare things on we all do that on eBay. I'm looking for something that's related to the Church of Satan that's interesting.
Absolutely.
But
I
would assume the same thing. If I had seen that, I'd have thought the same thing. I said, hey, man, somebody is selling stuff. Somebody's jumping ship.
But if you read the thing, I never said one negative thing.
That doesn't mean that it doesn't look like you're jumping ship, though.
Okay, let me put it this way.
Okay.
All right, we are 2016, right? If you had done this in 2026, no one would have raised an alarm because it would have been 10 years later. But look at the distance. Look at how close we still are to this thing. It's less than a year since the event. So, of course, people are going to be like, oh, who's jumping ship now?
Yeah. Well, I'll save some for 2026, but I wanted some money now. So I'll keep one for... I'm trying to figure... I do need the money now. My TV show isn't doing that well in Brazil. and I could use the extra cash. I'm trying to find on Facebook how the hell I find my block list.
You need cash that bad? Why don't you go ask your buddy Vinny Paul?
I did. He told me to fuck off. He wasn't giving me anything. So, listen, it's my business. That's how I make my living. I've been selling on eBay since 1996, and I've gotten in trouble for this. You bring up Vinny's name, and I didn't, but you bring it up, and I've gotten in trouble with him because of this same kind of shit where he comes back to me and he's like, hey, what are you selling this stuff for? But I won't sell anything that he's given me. Like, he'll give me an autographed thing or something for Christmas or whatever. But there's other things that he's given me, and he'll look at me with that raised eyebrow and he go, don't fucking sell this on eBay. Like he gave me a bunch of his old Panteras. I got his whole drum set from Pantera touring. He goes, you can have this, but do not sell this shit on eBay. I go, okay, I got you. Because I've been busted for doing stuff like that before, where he'll nonchalantly give me something, and then I sold it, and then he got mad about it, and he got butthurt. And he said, hey, man, I gave you that, and you sold it. So I learned the difference between things that are genuine gifts that people meant to give to me versus something that I gathered up for the purpose of its value, And I know the difference. So
you know what? Instead of just going around and around with this over and over again, I'll just be as concise as I can be with you up front, and we can either try to mend things from here or just go our own separate ways and be done with it. Okay?
Hey, the ball's in your court. I'm gonna go look on my Facebook. If you're blocked, I will unblock you, and you're welcome to roll up next to me and have a drink any fucking time you want.
But my point is, okay, it's not just me that feels this way. I just got pulled on here because John was like, hey,
it's funny.
I wants to do this. And I'm like, sure, why not? And, I do apologize for losing my cool. That wasn't what I intended to do. But tempers got heated. Shit happens.
Hey, I'm throwing John under the bus here. I did not
You
say,
always
hey,
do.
I don't want to have a battle with Robert. He come up with this. I didn't know that this was happening till he told me to call in.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, I didn't know I was battling Robert. Or
I actually was having you guys
talk about the auction. I didn't know it was you were involved.
I thought we were talking about flag burning.
Oh, we could do that too.
What the fuck happened here?
Well, I mean, the point of it is, I staunchly disagree with a lot of the things you do. I do. I don't always agree with what John does, but the thing is, John is a friend. We have the mutual respect. We have the understanding. You have given me neither. Now, either we can work on this, or you can have me on the side of you that you don't want me on.
Listen, I don't know what you want from me.
The choice, choice is yours.
So what is it that you need?
I need you to stop being an asshole.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think I have a control over that.
Well,
people,
okay.
I mean,
You
all I
have
can be
this
is me.
attitude. You have this attitude that you're the best Satanist ever because you do.
I certainly
your
never
little-
said that.
Hang on. I'm not done. You will know when I'm done.
That'll be when we hang up.
Oh shit!
You will know when I'm done, and you will know when you're able to get your word in. But it ain't yet. You have this attitude that we as an organization are not doing enough. You have this attitude that, you're doing such great things with your little Periscope interviews where you mischaracterize everything as LaVeyan Satanism, and that's not how this shit works. That is not how this shit works. I made my bones. I made myself known years before I sent away for my car. Dorian has known me for years. John and I have gotten to
10
know
years.
each other.
Well, I didn't know that this was a contest.
Let me finish though. It's like you just come on, and this is where a lot of people get frustrated. You know, all you do is you show your stuff, which is fine. Be proud of your stuff. Pride is a big thing for all of us. I'm not faulting you for that. My ego is about the size of Cleveland, at least. You know, and so my dick. But anyway, you guys knew that was coming. I had to put one in there.
We knew your dick was coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vagina.
Ew.
No, that's why video's not on right now. I'm just really quiet about it, you know. Open wide and say ah. Anyway, my point is...
What the fuck?
My point is, Robert, you just, in my opinion, and you can disagree, but take it from someone who's been around for a while. People are glad that you have what you have. No one's begrudging you that you have these nice things you have, that you have the house that you have, that you have the money that you have. But we don't want to hear about it every other day. We don't.
Well, you know, I'm sorry. I don't feel like that's what's happening. I think that I post current events, and those current events are my daily life. And sometimes what involves my daily life is I travel, or I do things, or I meet people. And you know, I don't say here's a picture of me and such 10 years ago, and then do that over and over. I post current things that are happening on a current basis, and I thought that maybe in this particular forum, people would appreciate certain, you know, things like, hey, look, I met Scott Ian and gave him one of our coins, and he thought it was really cool. Other people liked it. Other people didn't like it. So, you know, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying this is what my life is. These are the people I know that are in my life. And, you know, one of the things that leads people to Satanism is maybe their pride and their narcissisms or their pretentiousness or whatever. These are all traits that attract us to that book in the first place, that we recognize in ourselves. And you say, you know what? I'm not the meek. I'm not someone who wants to bow before others. I'm not a follower. I'm a leader. And, you know, this is why so many people voted for Trump, because he goes up there and he is, in many ways, the embodiments of Satanism, not to make a political thing. But the things that people hate about him are the same things that people hate about other Satanists. And that's why so many of us don't get along, because it's such a big cock-waving pissing contest sometimes with other people who don't know how to reel in their ego. It's something I've had to learn over the years. Whereas, you know, I think that, what is the saying? Don't be a player hater, participate, or however that works. I don't rhyme. I'm not a rapper. But
I am.
Yeah, don't play or hate, participate. There it is. That's what I'm saying. So don't get mad at me for being successful. Just pat me on the back and go, hey, man, good job. And you know, and now I see what you're saying. Like, I don't go around putting people down. I don't, like, make fun of someone else and go, you know, ha ha, you're broke. You know, like, I haven't done that. I mean, you know, but you can't get mad at me for having a successful life. You know, what am I supposed to go live in the fucking gutter to make you happy? You know, I'm sorry.
I'm not even mad that you're successful. I'm mad that you think that you're better than everyone else that has been in this organization.
That's not true at all. I've never thought that or said that, even one time. I've never said anything like that.
Bullshit. Sorry, I had a call.
I mean, you can't just show me one example of anything like that. I've never said I'm better than. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous.
Your pretentiousness is showing, and isn't pretentiousness a satanic sin, gentlemen?
Listen, the list of satanic sins that I could, rattle off for you are many, because whatever I do is not your goddamn business.
Bring it, bitch.
What the fuck?
Listen, I'm sure that John has some other subject he wants to get to. I mean, how long is this going to go on? Who gives a shit? I mean, I'm bored.
Go ahead. Rattle off your sins. Go on.
My sins?
Hit me with them. You think you know me so fucking well? Hit me with them. Put up or shut up.
Well, first of all, you're projecting on me. You're expecting me to be exactly like you. You're expecting me to act, speak, and be who you think everyone else should be. Now, what is that? Which one is that?
That's not it at all. And by the way, you're not thinking projection. You're thinking solipsism. Projection is psychology. I mean,
well, yeah,
I'm not as rich as you are. I don't know all the people that you know.
You have no idea how much money I have.
You know what?
It's not a lot. And you keep keep saying that over and over.
Okay, so if your money's not a lot, why do you bring it up? Why do you brag on your... Hold on, dude.
I'm not bringing up anything. I'm not posting my balance sheet.
You're trying to impress people. Give us something tangible. Give us something more than, I have this devil book. Or, look at what I did to my house.
What? I mean, you want my resume or something? What are you asking me
No,
for?
I want you to actually listen to what I'm saying. Step outside of Video Bob Land for a minute. Join the rest of us in reality.
I think maybe it's just a way that sometimes, because we've had, you and I have had a little beef before, because it just, something about it comes across, and I can't even necessarily put my finger on it, but, there's something about the way that you do kind of present yourself on Facebook that it just kind of comes across as more of a, I'm not doing anything, but here's why you should like me. I don't know why it comes, honestly, Bob, I don't know why it comes across that way, but it just does. Like, I can't.
Are you saying that I'm trying to write checks I can't cash? Is that what you're saying?
No, not even that. Well, maybe. I guess maybe it almost it comes across that way. Like, it comes across as I should be respected because I know this guy and this guy and this guy. And instead of, like I said before, it doesn't come across like you're doing.
Well, if I were to try to defend myself in that, then I would be accused of bragging.
Well, I don't have a problem with bragging, but
but it's like you're asking, like, before I became the custom car builder, I worked in the music video industry. I made over 350 music videos. I had videos playing on MTV. I have an MTV Music Award. I have been listed in I have Billboard awards. I have 30 or 40 gold records on my walls. People come over to my house and they see all these awards everywhere and they go, "What is it that you do?" And I said, "Well, I used to be a music video producer and I worked with all these heavy metal bands and I toured with these bands and I
to me that would be way more interesting. I would rather read a book by you about all the stories of dealing with those people.
You could walk into a Best Buy and pick up retail release DVDs that I created 100%, that I shot, edited, directed, made the Amaray wrap, everything. Books and things. So I stopped doing that, and then I owned a restaurant, and I had the best burger in Dallas, according to the local paper. And then I sold that restaurant for a profit. And then I opened up my car business, and I became a world-renowned car builder that's invited to all kinds of things. So much so that I got my own television show that was on internationally in 75 countries. Now, I could sit here and brag about
There's
all
75
these
countries? Sorry.
But you know,
that when Bob says he's going to do something,
they can't hear you over there. My wife is.
Oh, actually, we kind of can.
I could.
Her favorite thing about me, she says, is that when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. So if I tell one of my friends I'm going to do this thing that sounds impossible, they believe me 100% because I've conquered every single thing I've tried to do. And that's what attracted me to Satanism.
Here's the thing, and I'm only interrupting you to make this point, and I'm not going to be rude. I'm actually going to say something. If you had come at things like this, if you had done things this way, like you're doing them right now at this moment, I don't think you would have rubbed so many people, including me, the wrong way.
Well, to me, that sounds like bragging. I feel weird.
Are you now understanding the point I'm trying to make?
I suppose so. You know, I live a different life than other people, and you know, not everybody works this kind of lifestyle. And you know, I used to be a stand-up comedian, but I gave that up because I just felt like I wasn't good enough.
Now you sit down.
You know, yeah, I'm a sit-down comedian now.
No,
you know,
that's my gig. You can't have it.
That's your gig, yeah. But you know, so I tried a lot of different things. I mean, I did 6 different television shows before I landed on this thing that became successful. So, but I don't really bring them up because they sucked. I mean, I worked in radio. I did voiceovers for phone machines.
Here's the thing.
I produced NWA wrestling for a year. I did all kinds of goofy shit.
Okay, so the TV shows that did not succeed, even though they weren't successes, they were something on the path to your success, right?
Yes.
So even if they weren't grand slams, they were a foundation towards your current success, right?
Of course.
Then why not be proud of them, even if they didn't completely succeed?
Well, I mean, I am, but they're not that notable. One thing I'm going to try to defend myself in my personality that rubs you the wrong way is that when you get into the entertainment industry, whether you're a comedian or a musician or an actor or whatever it is, it's very important to, you know, you have to kind of make yourself publicly bigger than life. You know, you want to put yourself out there as somebody who's about town. You know, you want to put on your best outfit. You want to drive the shiniest car, even if you can't afford it, because that's the way show business works.
Okay, let me interrupt
you a second. From a Carney point of view, I'm selling myself.
Just a second, and I'm not going to be rude because I think we finally hit a point where you and I can relate. I understand, you know, you're in show business, you have to put up this front, blah, 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 blah. Well, I had to put up a front too because of my depression issues and everything else. But I learned that the best thing you can do is drop the front and be yourself without, you know, being on 24/7, without being in that mode 24/7, because even though you're used to that mode and even though you're comfortable with it, people don't see the real you. People just see this identity that you assume. And that is what's rubbing people the wrong way, Bob.
I understand that 100%. And this is the thing that I'm going to say that's going to, you know, you're going to laugh at, is that, unfortunately, that is the real me. I am that asshole all the time, even at home. You can ask my wife, you can ask my cat. I am...
No, I'm
the
sure
same video Bob that you see on.
I'm sure the cats are bigger assholes than you. Cats are nature's assholes.
I mean,
he's fucking full of himself. He is.
Hey, shut up over there. But I swear, I am this way all the fucking time, and certain people cannot deal with it. This is why I married this woman, because she can put up with it. I have friends that love me because of it, and they can take it, and they laugh at it, and they get the joke. And then there's other people out there that don't get it at all, and they hate me immediately. And this has been part of my life, and it's just the thing I accept.
Guys, listen, so I get it. I just want to say something, and I don't want to I've been pretty quiet to this point, but I got to say something
Yes,
for the
please, take
show,
over.
and I want to say something to you guys really quick. If you guys can grant me the respect to let me just finish this point here.
Go.
One thing is, we have a disclaimer at the beginning of the show, but I want to reiterate that a little bit first before I make my point here. We do mention the Church of Satan. We do mention Satanism. We are members of the Church of Satan, but this whole show, this whole episode especially, it has nothing to do with the Church of Satan. We don't speak on their behalf. We're not speaking for them. But see, this is the thing. You have to explain this to people because there are stupid fucking people in the world, and we all know it. So this is what it is. It's a satanic crossfire we wanted to do. There's two people that kind of didn't see eye to eye. We hope that airing this episode and this I guess dirty laundry, so to speak, is to get that education out there, and maybe people, if one person can learn something from it for the better, then that's all that we've accomplished our goal. So that being said, I've spoken to both of you guys privately. I know you guys differently. I consider myself friends with both of you. I broke bread with you, Robert Moseley, and Robert Leuthold. We've spoken on the phone a bunch of times and just kind of laughed and talked about all kinds of shit. I can see how people do get upset with Robert Moseley with the money thing and the putting it in your face and all this type of stuff that they accuse you of. And my personal take on it is, fuck them. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about me, and they probably know it, which probably pisses them off more, but I don't give a shit. And that's the thing. So if people have a problem with the money you make, your house, or anything that you accomplished, I say fuck them in the ass, because you're doing your thing to make yourself happy. The only thing that I believe that anybody as a Satanist would have a problem with is when certain things like this, when it comes to the gift thing, I already said it before, but that just puts it in a bad light, and that's what we're concerned with. Does the Church of Satan get into a bad light by this person's actions, etc., etc.? And that's the only thing that I really care about. So just to put that out there.
I appreciate that.
Now, Robert, this is where I'm gonna lead this with us, because I mean, even though we've made headway, instead of like getting on each other's friends list again and getting rubbed the wrong way, I'll be civil to you in public. We don't have to be connected on social media. You do your thing, I'll do mine. Deal?
That's fine. Although I will say that during the course of this conversation, I already sent you a friend request. You can delete it.
And that's Satanic Crossfire, folks.
Man, I'll leave it there and think on it for a few days, all right?
All right.
But,
Listen,
seriously, much like with John, I move that we do our best to put this behind us.
Well, I'm going to say this. I'm going to try to exercise a little bit more humility. And at the same time, I'm also going to refrain from selling anything that I think would cause some disturbing. I was legitimately trying to make some money, although that was a little bit of a little prank. But, just to put it out there, I'm not going to ever sell anything that's of a personal nature, something that was given to me as a gift, or, like something was signed to me or whatever. Those things are sacred to me. Don't think that I don't have any kind of moral compass in that realm. I do. But I'm also admittedly an opportunist and a capitalist when it comes to things like collectibles, because that's what I sell for a living.
Well, yeah, I get that too.
So,
But, like I said, as much as you've said, you're an asshole, you can rub people the wrong way, etc., etc., I know I can too. I'm fully aware of how I come off to people online.
Well, that's why we're all Satanists, because we're all assholes.
Yeah. I think some of us are bigger. Some of us are bigger and more hemorrhoidal assholes than others.
I would think anybody who's too nice would get their application rejected.
Well,
they leave on their own soon enough. Sure.
Okay, and let me go back to the selling thing for a minute. And I don't know if you were around for this, but there have been members that have left that have basically dumped all of their satanic paraphernalia on eBay, tried to sell it to other members overpriced. I mean, I get that what you were doing was a joke, but we've seen stuff like this before. And that's why the alarm was raised.
No, I understand that, and I didn't consider that, so you're right.
You know, and we butted heads. I mean, I think both of our egos got a little out of control in this conversation.
No.
But I think that in the long run, it was cathartic for both of us.
And that's what the devil, is all about, is changing lives. Kumbaya, bitches.
Hail Satan.
We make the world a better place.
I think we all need that huge, 50-gallon drum of lube from Amazon. I think my ass is bleeding a little bit.
Listen, I think
it's a good note to
yeah.
start
Let's end on this good
season.
note. Yeah, definitely, guys. We want to thank you for coming on. I mean, without you, this episode would not have happened. So
yeah, I'm glad we resolved.
Hey, I was sober this time.
That's right. That's right.
Moseley, you need to put all those stories in a. I mean, you're around in the '80s in the music video scene. You need to put those stories in a book because that's a.
I've got some stories. I've got some crazy
that's
stories.
Something I wanted to say. Your stories of being in the music business, producing videos, being in the music business, in the TV business.
And I know you were a big fan of wrestling, too. I've got some of those stories.
Stuff like that. I mean, write a book of that. Not just Satanists, but people would eat that up, man. And it's not necessarily a celebrity dirt thing. Just people love stuff like that.
Oh, I have dirt. There's cum stains in the back of my car from
Yeah, but I mean,
various.
And that's a good note to end
right.
on.
Yeah, there you go.
Hell yeah!
all right, gentlemen.
Vagina.
Yes, I think that I can't stop
That's a good
laughing.
one.
My cheeks hurt, and I got these 2 points in the back of my head that are screaming at me. Great episode, guys. Thanks for coming on, and until next time, everyone. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Hail
Yeah,
Satan.
hell Satan. Am I free to go?
You're being detained.
No, you are not free to go. Head to the shower now.
Well, John, what did you think of all that?
A lot happened, man. A lot happened. I got these 2 points in the back of my head that are pulsating because I was laughing so hard. You probably,
Yeah,
I mean, you
had
could
to
hear
hit the mute button a few times.
Yeah, you heard us laughing a little bit because some of the things that were said were pretty fucking outlandish, and I love them for that. It's entertaining. I mean, nobody can deny us that.
I think hopefully everybody made it to the end, because I think it would come across as just kind of airing out dirty laundry at the beginning, but I think if you listen through, you know, something got actually resolved. You know, there was something decent came out of it, and I think we learned a few things. And
yeah, if anything, I mean, what I got out of it personally was that, you know, it rings true. I mean, you read them in essays, you read them in articles, you read them in books, all the satanic stuff, that we are a mutual admiration society. We are different people. And if you happen to fall in love with someone in the organization, like me and you, Dorian, that's great. But, you know, we don't have to get along. We don't have to like each other. But I think that this little Crossfire episode, I think a lot was learned. I learned a lot about these two gentlemen and seeing where they came from and why they are the way they are. And I see both sides of the story. You?
I definitely I learned a few things from this. I mean, I've had respect for Robert for a long time. I've known him for about 10 years.
Robert who?
And sorry. Yeah, that's what I mean. No, Robert Leuthold and I have known each other for 10 years. Robert Moseley, you know, he usually surprises me with his answers. I I always think that he's going to be like a future detractor, but I don't know. He surprises me sometimes, and I was impressed with what he said.
As long as he waits till 2026.
Yeah, I'd like to hear. I'd like to hear some of his stories. I think that's maybe was a big thing that I guess we kind of got maybe resolved was, there's a lot there that he hasn't really shared with us, and I think that's a big thing. I think that he's accomplished a lot, and I think he should be proud of that. So
yeah, I think they both accomplished a lot in their own unique ways. I think
absolutely.
That's why I don't comment on these things, and I see people blasting them. But when it really boils down to it, and a lot of people are going to hate hearing this, just ask yourself before you comment: is your comment stemming from jealousy, envy, a little bit? Because a lot of times when I read them, it appears it's that way. But and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with jealousy because it's a motivating factor in life for me anyway.
Yeah.
I
think you got to make sure that people want to hear your opinion before you voice it sometimes. Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
So,
well, thanks for the 4 or 5 people that are still listening.
If you out there, if you listeners have a bitch with somebody else and you want to settle it on people's court.
No, you can't say people's court. On Crossfire, let us know. Let us know, because this is good.
Could be interesting, yeah.
All right, man. Until next time, hail Satan.
Hail Satan, brother.
Post something negative, and then other people pile on top of it. And then I saw people retract and backpedal after they there were several people who were very friendly with me who at first were all upset, and then they go, "Oh, well, Bob was perfectly fine, then never mind." So
he always does dumb shit. So.
Yeah. So exactly, and so sometimes it's not even the action; it's just if you're already on the shit list, then you're already a target. And I feel like I have a little bit of that, imposed on me. But I do that everywhere I go. I'm used to it. I'm used to this.
I'm used to a lot of things in that vein as well, man. Seriously. So it happens.
I meant what I said, though, Bob, about what happened with John and I. It took us, sitting together at the DC event and just saying, why the fuck are we doing this?
Well, face-to-face is always a great thing. My magic in person is very strong because I can go up to anybody who hates my fucking guts, but in 5 minutes, in personal face-to-face time, we'll be slapping each other on the back and doing shots and everything. And then as soon as I leave, they hate me again. But as long as I can put my magic in front of them, it works well. And it's done well for me my whole life. And so many times where I've had issues with people, it's not that I just have this black hole that I need to fill of people liking me, but it makes the world spin around a little smoother with a little less lube when you have less people out that get you. And so I do try to put out olive branches and make friends with people, if for nothing else, that I don't need that agita in my life. I don't need the negative vibes coming at me. And so I try. That's why I reached out to you at the thing in Poughkeepsie and said, let's have a drink.
I said, when you tried to reach out to me, I was plastered.
No, absolutely, and I'm sorry that I didn't get to contribute to that, but But maybe there'll be a next time, and I'll get to you earlier.
Yeah, I mean, and the next time I'm definitely gonna watch how much I have. So.
Yeah, good luck.
Well, at least you're buckled in there, so yeah.
But the point of it is, whether or not we end up best buddies or not, I just don't want this to have to come up again.
Well, let's not start sucking each other's dicks yet. let's get past Facebook friends.
But you get my point, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to have to be back here again.
I hope Marlene said, "I hope you don't have a gag reflex."
Yeah, I mean, I've had this exact thing happen with peers of mine that are in the car industry because there's such rivalry over who's first, who did it best, who won the trophy. And I've literally lost friendships simply because I, outdid someone at a car show, or somebody that I was friends with who stopped talking to me because I beat them.
Like I said, man.
And I'm not accusing you of that, but I
know
to my friends, I'm like, it's like Karate Kid. I'm fucking Cobra Kai with the embroidered jackets and shit, and over there's the guy with the one knee trying to sweep my leg or whatever. I'm like, listen, in the real world, the people who have their shit together are the ones that win, and it's not always like the movie where the underdog wins. And
right.
So everybody hates the winners. They want the underdog to win, and that's not how real life is, unfortunately.
Well, the point is, like I said, and it's a learning curve. I've been where you are, where like it's new, it's fresh, I've got the biggest balls on the planet. I want to shoot all over everything, blah, blah, blah. And in doing that...
I've seen that video. Fuck, John, why did you stop recording?
It is. Don't worry about that.
Coming into a group of nothing but people who think they're their own god or their own goddess, with that attitude, generally does not go over well, and you get your ass handed to you multiple times. But the thing is, I always understate. I do my best. There's a joke between John and Dorian and I about my dick, and it's it's become a running joke, even though I fucking can't.
Run? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think probably the most important.
Me, goddammit.
The most important thing I think to remember for all of us would probably be counterproductive pride, where at the end of that, it comes to the point where it says, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, I wish I could compromise, then do it. So I think that ultimately there's a lot of prideful people out there who left the organization who did not remember that particular satanic sin. And I try to employ that when I can, whether or not I feel like I'm right or wrong. Sometimes the best thing to do is to employ that. And I feel that that's what's going on, and what should go on a lot more often. So people that end up leaving because of their pride. Because I meet a lot of, quote, former Satanists. We talked about this before, because I wear the jewelry and the things out in public, and people will come up to me and go, I used to be a member. And I would say, well, why aren't you? And they go, well, I just dropped out or whatever. And a lot of times it's because of some little situation they had with another member, and they went crying to Peter about it or whatever. And they're like, listen, we've got nothing to do about it. And then they leave the organization because they're pissed off at somebody else. And it's like, that doesn't make sense to me, that you're going to drop this whole thing. And quite frankly, if you're the kind of person that's going to do that, you should go anyway. But a lot of that is training, self-discipline, and employing the tools, because that's what I look at Satanism as, not so much as a religion, but as a set of tools for life that you use. And sometimes you got to reach in the toolbox and you got to grab the right tool for the right job. And so it's a learning curve for everybody. And I'm part of this thing. I joined because I wanted the introspective wisdom to fix some of these things that you guys bitch at me about. So, I'm not going to even argue about them. Sometimes you're absolutely on the money, and all I can do is grin and bear it.
You know, I'll be the first to admit I fucked up. It takes me a while to admit it, but I admit it and I apologize. You know, I'm not perfect. And we're all sitting talking here. It's not about rank. It's not about any of that. We're all people at the end of the day.
Yeah. I want to hear what John and Dorian have to say, if Dorian has a good enough connection to say it.
Wait, we're not even doing the show anymore. The show's over.
And we might put this on a bonus track.
Oh, I thought you were still recording.
I am.
Hey, okay, well then that's all that matters. You know how to edit, motherfucker.
Hell yeah, dude.
Well, like I said, you know, to me, it struck me as seeing that it was a like I said, more of a baiting thing, which I didn't even know it happened. I heard about it the next day or late last night or something. Everyone's like, I think John was like, "See what's going on?" I'm like, "What?" But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It seemed like a douchey move, but then that didn't surprise me that you did it then. So
I'm a douche.
You know, and it's just, to me, it's like, and I'm not trying to jab at you or anything, but it's like, it always seems that when you get called out, and maybe it's me or maybe it's other people that do it, instead of saying, okay, I made a mistake, I'm sorry, you automatically go into defensive victim mode, and that doesn't help you. That doesn't help you. It just makes it seem like you've got more to hide, perhaps, or, you know, something else, and that's something you need to work on, too. And I'm not just saying, you know, roll over and take it, but I'm just saying, take it from where it comes, you know? I've gotten called down more than once, and I've just sat there and said, yes, ma'am, or yes, sir, and dropped it.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. It's over.
Whatever, man.
I mean, shit happened, and
Dorian's like,
we
I got
aired things out pretty well.
Let's go.
Well, I think everything got aired out pretty well on this episode.
Yeah,
so
totally.
You guys both said your piece, and then by the end of it, it seemed like maybe we were seeing eye to eye more. Which, like I said, you know, like Bob, were you areas that you were like, I don't like to say this because it sounds like I'm bragging. It was the areas where I was like, wait a minute, I want to hear more about that. And that I think maybe is maybe that one thing that's missing is that when it comes to the Church of Satan being a mutual admiration society, then what we want and it's going to make us gravitate to you is having those things to admire. So admiration for us is going to come through what you do, you know. So that's when you that's why I said when you should write a book about this, because the minute you said I did these videos for years and I did this, then I'm like I'm interested in that. Like that sounds interesting. That sounds like an accomplishment, and that's something that I admire and look up to as an accomplishment,
Yeah,
you're the third person today who's told me I should write a book.
Well, let me be the fourth. Write the book, man.
Let me put things in perspective, and I'm not aiming for sympathy here, okay? I'm poor. Okay? I am dirt fucking poor. Money doesn't impress me. Things don't impress me. It's what you do and who you are. It's what you have inside that counts. It's how you use what you have, not what's in your bank account. I could end up winning the lottery tomorrow, win $10 million, and I wouldn't care.
Yeah,
I would.
It'd be money.
I would care. All of us have our story. I mean, I started off extremely poor as well. I used to live on an American Indian reservation in South Dakota because I was kidnapped as a child by my mother
because you were
in a
Chinese,
custody
weren't
battle.
you?
Yeah, and so I didn't have a dime to my name until I dropped out of high school and got my own job. And so I think the reason I'm pretty, I guess, so proud of myself is because I came from absolutely nothing. And everything I have is my own and done from scratch on a 9th grade education. And I just worked my fucking balls off without compromise. And I never took drugs. I didn't have a drink till I was 32. It wasn't until I worked for Vinny that he insisted I have a shot or I couldn't work for him. So, and that's a true story. He's like, nobody works for me who doesn't drink. You're going to have a fucking shot. So I did.
I would like to digress. You didn't work your balls off because your voice is still deep.
I still have them, yeah. So, no, I worked, but I put them back in. And, but the thing is that, I worked really, really hard, and everybody has that story. Well, not everybody has that story. Some people got what they got for free, but I didn't have opportunity or anybody to help me. So I'm very hard. One of the things Satanic Bible has helped me with is dealing, like, for instance, with my employees, because I expect them to know what I know and do as I do. And I go to them and go, how come you can't do this? I can do this in 2 seconds. They go, yeah, but you know what? We're not you. You have superpowers in this world to do this shit, and we can't do it. You're going to have to teach me for the next 2 weeks. So it's just like I can't play a guitar or piano, or I can't paint, like I can't draw a picture like Dorian can. So some people have a talent.
Play a skin flute.
They can, yeah, you're pretty good at that skin flute, I know. So,
he's not that good. Took forever. Jesus.
Asshole.
Yeah.
Asshole.
That's how his ears got the way they are, from people pulling on his ears.
What ears? I have no ears.
Yeah, I ripped them off. But,
what?
I guess
everybody has their tribulations and their
so then you'll
trials.
have to actually be on the show sometime as just a regular guest and tell people your actual story.
I think actually something like that would be great for you to do. I'll listen. I'll tune in and listen.
I'll read the book.
And maybe, if everyone gets past us bitching at each other on this episode and they get to the bonus bits, they're going to understand, if they get to a happy ending, maybe they understand that there was actually a happy ending.
Seriously,
I go to bed,
yeah, I learned producing wrestling. People love the bad guy. He gets all the attention.
But seriously, Video Boob, you got to write the book, and you have to make the episodes of the car show available to us somehow. Can't you do that? What the fuck?
I've got it.
I know. Well, I have a private link that I share. Reels Network
gave me a DVD.
I pirated this shit. I recorded it off TV and put it on a DVD because Reels doesn't have any online represent. They own the show for 7 years, so I got another 3 or 4 years. So Reels has no online anything. They haven't put. I'm trying to buy the show back internationally through TCB. It's on Discovery, D-Max. It's on a whole bunch of different channels. And like I said, I was in Las Vegas at the SEMA Automotive Convention, and this group of Brazilians walked by and freaked out like I was Elvis. And they were like, oh, my God, you're so famous. I want to take a picture with you. And I had no fucking idea the show was on in Brazil. So I start getting these weird fan letters from France and Poland and Singapore and Malaysia and New Zealand and Australia and shit. And I had no idea that it was on in all these different countries because Reels only owns the rights to it domestically. And unfortunately, they have no online presence. And I'm trying to work with them to buy the show back so that we can put it on Netflix or Hulu or some kind of shit.
Yeah.
But, anyway.
Well, just to say, I love that shit. I love cars. I love that thing. I do like what you do. I admire what you do. And I even watched that video today you had where you were flexing. And I only watched it. I didn't watch it too long because I can't stand staring at that little old Chinese man growing out of your chin. But I was listening to the song you had on. You had "Ain't Talking About Love" by Van Halen on. I was just rocking out. But no, it's cool.
And fucking Facebook took the video down because they said it was a copyright infringement, and then somehow I put it back up.
Yeah.
But anyway, and I don't know, Robert, if you watch my, you mentioned my Periscope, so I don't know if you watch those, but I do this Ask the Devil 666 Periscope. That's my name on there.
Sermon.
Yeah, well, I do Satanic Sunday School and shit like that, and I'll go on there for 2 or 3 hours and just answer questions and talk about Satanism. And man, I've got I think 6,000 followers that come on and they just want to talk about it because nobody else is doing it, and it's just something that I do for fun. It helps, kind of buffer my debating skills, and the trick is not to just get into an insulting match with the people, and he also mentioned about me saying that I don't think that the Church of Satan does enough. I don't think that's the case, but what I do think is that we are now in a world where we are, because of social media, we now have to deal with the Satanic Temple and all the other detractors out there, and because they get so much attention, it muddies the waters of who and what we are. No, they do. They get national attention virtually daily, and it sucks because now I have to answer for coloring books and after school Satan and all this kind of shit because they assume that is who we are, that's us, that he's doing what we're doing,
Yeah.
And I try to explain to people the difference.
Let me interject with that. I mean, that's where people like John and other representatives in the hierarchy, that's where they come in. Mm-hmm. That's their job.
But that's not their exclusive property.
They're qualified. I'm not saying we shouldn't, but they're more qualified than us. Administration puts their faith in people like John.
Oh, I see what you're saying. They're more qualified.
I mean, I've done interviews, but I've always gone to administration first.
Right.
I've always cleared it with them first. I'm not qualified to speak on behalf of the church, but in every interview I've done, I've made that clear.
Yeah, if I were ever asked to do something of a nature like that, I would ask them first. But I don't think I necessarily would need that for anything that I do on my own.
No, I've watched your Periscope thing a couple times. It's you're not speaking on behalf of the church or anything like that. No. You're just answering you're just fielding a lot of questions about Satanism and things like that. So, yeah, understood.
Exactly, yeah. All right, well, everybody...
let's wrap this up, guys.
All right, guys. Seriously, thank you, man. And if you guys want to call, shoot the shit, whatever, anytime.